Well, here we are, the final episode of Werewolf Month. Boy, I can't believe it's almost over already. These months seem to go by so fast. But we had some great times, didn't we? I even made a little compilation video of all previous episodes. So I suggest we take a little look. Let's talk about our even root horror. Don't get these crows to have their fun about a blob house and how that turns out. Wow, lovely stuff, lovely stuff. Anyway, we took a deeper look at a couple of werewolf movies, more specifically 2 bad ones and 1 good one. So it seems fair to talk about another good one today to keep up a nice balance in the end. Otherwise, the universe could explode! Why did I do that in a German voice? Anyway, let's take a look at a movie that tackles one of the most horrendous and disturbing aspects of the werewolf genre. This is Ginger Snaps. Ginger Snaps goes all out in its use of the werewolf as a metaphor for teenage sexual discovery.
She's got the curse. Ew.
And while it may not be the first movie to make a link between the transformation into a hideous flesh-eating monster and werewolves, it's arguably the first one to do it right. And less shaky. Is that in poor taste? Who cares, it's the last episode. Plot. This period drama focuses on Bridget and Ginger Fitzgerald, 2 teenage sisters who, by the look of it, read a little too much Edgar Allan Poe.
You don't think our deaths should be a little more than cheap entertainment?
They are obsessed with death and despair, have bones for pens, weird, and even stage their suicide for a school project. Yeah, luckily they have the world's least credible teacher, or they'd be in real trouble.
Alright. Well, that was completely, disturbing, wasn't it? I am completely sickened. Right? Sickened by that. Wasn't I?
Just look at their tortured souls. Yeah, if you're annoyed by Bridget's facial expression already, then you'll probably hate this movie. Because she does it all the freaking time. Jesus, lighten up, girl. You look like an alien killer clown is out to get you or something. As you would guess, the sisters get attacked by a werewolf, in a sequence that suspiciously mirrors the one from An American Werewolf in London. That is except for this scene, where Bridget clearly went to the Blair Witch Project School of Breathing. And just like the lycanthrope is shot at the right time in An American Werewolf, here the sisters get saved by an automobilus ex machina, belonging to Sam.
Oh, fuck me.
Who is the kind of Cillian Murphy with a pinch of Christian Slater-looking drug dealer of the school. Since Ginger is bitten, weird stuff starts to happen. Her wounds heal unnaturally fast.
That's impossible.
She grows a tail, kills teachers. It's clear she's starting to become a young woman. Bridget suspects that something supernatural is at work here.
Oh, really?
So it is now up to her and Sam, with his strange and convenient knowledge of werewolf killing plants, to stop Ginger from snapping, before she completely turns into Snooky.
Snooky wants smush smush.
Style! One thing you'll quickly notice about Ginger Snaps is that even though it was released in 2000, it has 90s written all over it. And does it succeed in checking off every single horror cliché of the delightfully cheesy decade? Well, let me just take my every single horror cliché of the 90s list. Yeah, it's a list I made, no big deal, just one of my lists. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So if we're going to run down this list, we might as well do it right. Welcome to Freaks Movie Reviews, and today we're counting down yet another 10 cheesy 90s horror cliches that aren't Ginger Snaps.
What was that?
For this list, we're ranking the, well, it's kind of obvious, it's the title. If you don't see a cliché that you think should be on this list, make sure to check out our other lists. 10 more cheesy 90s horror clichés that are in Ginger Snaps, and top 10 more yet another 10 clichés, give us money. Number 10. A neo-gothic montage of badly damaged footage of grim pictures, accompanied by over-the-top dramatic music. Check. Even though it holds no candle to the original opening of 7, I must admit it does manage to create a nice little disturbing atmosphere to get this horror flick going. Too bad it's almost immediately shattered by another 90s horror cliché. Number 9. Overused cartoonish side characters. And boy, does this movie have a lot of them. Ranging from an awkward, preoccupied mother and disconnected, spineless father to the one-dimensional, spoiled rich chick bully.
Oh my gosh.
An obnoxious, generic jock love interest.
Come on, Jason, let's go.
Oh, yes.
But you know what? I kinda like that. These Looney Tunes characters bring some much needed light in what is, let's face it, a pretty silly setup for a werewolf movie. For as bad as the jock's acting is, because, believe me, it's really bad.
Come to Papa, baby. Come and get some candy.
It is a nice change from having to look at this cheery face all the time. Number, I don't know, 8? Is it 8? I lost count. They say fuck a lot.
Fuck. Fuck. Fucked. The fuck. Little fucking fuck. Fucking. Fucking.
Because then, it was still fucking edgy.
Don't call me fat, you fucking Jew!
Eric, did you just say the F word?
What's the big deal? It doesn't hurt anybody. Fuck, fuckity, fuck, fuck, fuck.
Number 8, again, I don't care. Everyone has to drive around with obnoxiously loud rock radio. Because then, teenagers still listen to real music. Number I don't care. And the use of way too many Dutch angles. Number, fuck it. In between the corniness, the movie does manage to produce some genuinely scary scenes. Even more so when the story nears its third act, when Ginger snaps for real. The practical and makeup effects are pretty good looking, especially considering the relatively small budget of $5 million. To give you an idea, that is about the same as Paranormal Activity 4. And to answer your question, I have no idea why I know that. Also, the fully transformed werewolf looks convincing, because it's used very sparingly. That is except for the very ending, where you see the monster a little too much. There's time enough to notice the breasts on the suit. I mean, that's just really dumb. They should have kept the monster hidden for the whole movie, like in Jaws. In that movie, you never get to see the shark for very long, making that awkward chunk of metal look like a real animal. I mean, in real life, the shark looks like this. And I'm not even joking, this is what they actually used as a shark in Jaws. I know, because why would it be $15,000 on eBay? Themes! So by now I realize it may sound like I think Ginger Snaps is pretty corny and aged, and it indisputably is, but I have to admit, I was really surprised of how clever the script is, especially for what is basically a cheap monster movie. Aside from the in-your-face metaphor of discovering sexuality, there's a lot of other themes going on as well.
You gave it to Jason. You had unprotected sex and you infected him.
Like STDs, matriarchy, conformity. Why is this my German accent again? I don't know. The relation between the sisters, which is the focal point of the story, is handled with great care, and Bridget and Ginger seem like real people.
Bitten on a full moon. Now you're hairy.
Well, thank you for taking my total fucking nightmare so seriously.
Despite, or maybe because, everyone around them being a cardboard cutout. And a few elements that made me frown at first, like the emo stuff.
I'm not a fucking emo. Don't you even know the fucking death?
Yeah, well, whatever, the emo stuff does pay off later in the story. So, all in all, the reason why I like... Conclusion. The reason I like Ginger Snaps a lot is because it puts the werewolf idea in a new light, as a metaphor for female sexual identity and exploration, while staying loyal to the core elements of the genre. The plot, while aged and really corny at times, is surprisingly clever and complex. Also, this movie checks off every criteria of a good werewolf movie. Check out episode 2 of Werewolf Month if you don't know what I'm talking about. And it should also be noted that horror, especially werewolf movies, were practically dead at the time. And amongst the trashy sequels, remakes and just plain bad movies, Ginger Snaps showed that there was still room for horror flicks with a unique and interesting approach to the material. So check it out, if you can. It's one of the better films about lycanthropy out there.
I think we should get together.
Oh.
So that's all, folks. That was Werewolf Month. So I truly hope you enjoyed it. In any case, thank you so much for tuning in. Well, it's not really tuning in, it's not really TV. Thanks for clicking on my video. Please show your support by subscribing, liking, joining, commenting, loving, etc. Watch out for my next video, which will be announced shortly. Freaks!
Go.